So very good morning to all of you. Myself, Professor Naveed Akhtar Mirza. I'm taking your subject concrete technology, having a code of 201010 with effect from uh, 2 June 2019 course for SC Civil. It is implemented in 2020. This one is the till now we have covered the unit number one on the ingredients of cement and their properties such as uh, hydration process, chemical reactions, manufacturing of cement, types and classifications of cements. And then we have seen the aggregate, different classification of aggregate, properties of aggregate, and test on the aggregates. Then the water we are using for making and curing of the concrete we also seen. And then the admixture used for the concreting personnel, that is the additional material uh, used for the manufacturing of concrete nowadays to enhance the its fresh state and the hardened state properties. Admixtures are having two types, chemical and mineral admixtures. And test on admixture also, the demo lecture you have seen on the mass con test. Also we have seen the compatibility of admixture with the cement. The cement should not fix with the admixture whatever we are using. Now in second unit, sorry, we have started and we have seen the production of your concrete from mixing to the finishing and curing of your concrete. Then you have seen the cohesiveness and segregation of concrete. Segregation means the separation of ingredients of concrete. It may be aggregate or cement or the slurry that will separate from the concrete mass. Then today we will this in this lecture uh, the lecture outcome will be at the end of your this lecture you are able to understand what is bleeding and lightens and test on the fresh concrete. So some of the test on the fresh concrete also we will see. So let us start uh, the lecture number 15. First we will see about the bleeding. What are the bleeding? The bleeding is the movement of water present in concrete towards the top surface after placing. So what happen when you are doing the concrete, the water content are more on your mix or wet mix is there. So after the finishing, when you are finishing, the water comes up to the surface and this movement of water after the compaction over the surface because of the low specific gravity of water, then the other material it comes up and that water accumulate over the surface of your concrete. Some of the water they evaporate and mostly the water is absorbed to the concrete. So this is nothing but called as bleeding. So there are some IS requirement. If admixtures is used, the how much bleeding, the bleeding and percentage increase over the control sample. This is the maximum values given in the IS code that we are specification SP23 1982. Then you can see from this schematic diagram that can see the minute lines are there. These are the capillary pores where the movement of water is done, and water accumulates over the surface. I request the student they will join on time, so there should not be a disturbance. So you can see here the capillary pores are visible. You can see this is the capillary pores where the water comes through on the surface. So different capillary pores through uh, the movement is takes place between the aggregate and paste interface, and these capillary pores they from where the movement of water is done around the uh, paste and aggregate interface. So this accumulation of water in blue color, you can see this is the water accumulated over the surface. Water, that is H2O, accumulated over the surface. This phenomena is termed as or called as bleeding. This phenomena is termed as or called as the bleeding of your concrete. Then we move up, you can see the uh, lightens. It is nothing but the due to the bleeding of water comes up and accumulate at the surface. Sometimes along with this water, certain quantity of paste also comes to the surface. This formation of cement paste at the surface is known as lighters. So this uh, uh, due to bleeding, along with the water, some cement paste comes up on the surface of water, and that is nothing but termed as lighters. So this is nothing but due to bleeding, and the causes of bleeding is improper slump if there is wet mix, excessive amount of coarse aggregate if there, and less quantity of fines, any sands and cement particles, and inappropriate placing and compacting. तो अगर एक्सेसिव कॉम्पैक्टिंग है, जब भी आपका वाटर ऊपर आने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं, तो प्लेसिंग एंड कॉम्पैक्शन आल्सो शुड बी appropriate. And if you increase the sand particles, that also reduce the segregation and building in your concrete, and excessive amount of coarse aggregate should be avoided. Whatever required you should use that, and other it should be avoided. Then the uh, bleeding uh, can be controlled, or measures should be taken uh, when we reduce the water content into the concrete. Then you can reduce the bleeding also. Introduction of fines and airs. If you take more fine particles and if you are introduce the air into the concrete, introduction or air and the fine particles will reduce your bleeding of your concrete. Also the proper compaction, too much compaction causes bleeding, so we should avoid the too much compaction, as I said earlier, uh, so that the proper compaction can avoid the bleeding of your concrete. Then we will come to the different test on the fresh concrete, that is on the workability of your concrete, because the measure of fresh concrete is nothing but the to know the workability of concrete, and there are different tests to find out the workability of concrete. Salem cone test, compaction factor test. uh, it is used when there is low workability, degree of workability is high, then we are going for flow test. Also, if the degree of workability is low, we can use flow test with jolting. And then VV consistency meter, if the degree of workability is very low, then we are going for uh, VV consistometer test. And Calibol test for the making the impression on the concrete surface after the before the placing. So that also you can find out the workability of your concrete. So first we will see the test on ferrous concrete, that is Salam test. Some tests are generally performed on the handy equipment. It consists of the tamping rod and the cone. So you can see this is the cone. The diameter at the top is 100 mm or 10 centimeter. Diameter at the bottom of the cone is 20 centimeter or 200 mm. And the height of the cone is 300 mm or 30 centimeters. Okay, so this you can uh, see the Salam comb apparatus and the handle to hold down the your cone while filling of the concrete. So this is the cone, and we are using tamping rod to compact the concrete. So you can see this. Some trays is generally the inverted cone. Fill it up with the three layers. So you can see this first layer, 1/3 layer is filled, and the compaction is done by a tamping rod. This is the tamping rod uh, having a dimension of 600 mm length and 16 mm diameter, and uh, each layer is tamped or compacted for 25 blows. So first 1/3, then half, then we will fully in third stage we can fully uh, fill the cone and compaction is done, so that the void should be removed. And then step number 4, you can strike out the excessive material or concrete over the surface, and then we will clean. Then we will lift the cone simultaneously uh, or stage 5, and then salam will occur. This is the salam, and the salam is measured by putting the inverted rod from top of your cone to the salam surface of your concrete. This value, this value, if it may be 70, 80, 75, 90 joules, whatever it may be, that is nothing but salam of your concrete. So it is very handy equipment. You can use on site as well as on laboratory also. So it is very handy, and but we require the smooth and level surface to perform this test, and the tamping rod and plate and scale, the equipment required for your the procedure is very simple. Just you have to hold down the cone with your feet, and then uh, fill the concrete in 3 layers, with each layer is compacted or rodded for 25 times all around, not only one place, and then strike out the excessive concrete and around the surface of the your cone, and then you have to lift the cone so that the slump will take place, and then your slump will be measured with the scale from the top of your this cone to the slump surface, and that will give the slump value. Then this case schematic diagram already we have discussed, and you can see after lifting, if this type of you are getting the slump, then that slump is called as true slump. That slump is called as true slump. This may be occur when there is low workable concrete degree of workability. If there is medium degree of workability, then your slump will be like this, and that is called as shear slump. And the measurement of shear slump is from the center of the this slump to the height of your cone, and it gives the slump value. Then if your degree of workability is somewhat high, then your concrete will be collapse, and this type of slump will occur. So that is nothing but the collapse of your slump. So these different stages, and sometimes if we are very lean concrete will be there, then we will not measure the slump. All the concrete flow all around, and then we are measuring the flow of your concrete if there is very lean mix is there. So you can see here some of the diagram taken from the MS book. This harsh concrete, if unworkable concrete will be there, then you can see here there is no very little or no slab will be seen. And then concrete is very harsh, a degree of workability is very low. Or you can say that if it is unworkable. Okay. Then if the degree of workability is medium, then you will get the true slump you can see here, and there is certain slump value. Okay, so it is generally workable and cohesive mix you can say. So you can get such type of the shear slump you have seen here also the same surface it is inclined, and the shear slump will occur. This one is the true slump, but if very workable complete, there is no value you will getting the for slump or very less, then this is very harsh concrete and unworkable concrete. Then if there is a lean concrete or mixes are there, so there it may be collapse, and some if a very lean or high degree of workability is there, then this flow will be takes place, and the flow will be measured uh, along two direction of your concrete, and then average will be taken. So this is how we can find out the workability of your concrete by slump cone test. So this one is the first test, and you should take care of how it be it should be performed. So then our IS 456 gives the different values of your slump and compaction factor. Okay, so if very shallow section is there or pavement in road constructions, if you are using, we are going for, then the degree of workability is very low. If degree of very uh, uh, workability is very low, then slump will be 0. For that, we are testing the workability by compaction factor test. We'll see after this. And if you are going for the mass concrete for dams and uh, shallow slabs and beams and walls of column or a stiff foundation, then the degree of workability is required low, and the slump value will be in between 25 to 75 mm. So this slump value is given in mm, so it may be 25 to 75 mm. And if heavily reinforced slab, beams and walls are there, columns are there, if the reinforcement are very heavy, then in that case we have to go for the medium slump, and the slump value will be generally in between 50 to 100 mm. Then if slip-form pumped concrete is there, if you are using the pumping of your concrete, then definitely the slump value should be good as the pumping should be easily done, and medium degree of workability is required, and that is around 75 to 100 mm slump is applicable. Then in situ piling trenches fill high 100 to 150 slump is required if there is a very narrow section, and in this case, or instead of filing is done or trench filling is there below the surface of your ground, then the workability is required high, and then slump value will be 100 to 150 mm. Antremi concrete generally underwater concrete is there, or very flowy concrete are there be required to provide a large depth. Then in that case the very high slump is required, and the slump value it may be from the 150 to 100 mm, and in that case the slump is not measurable, so we are going for the flow test as per IS 9103, and the flow of your concrete is measured as shown here. So dimension one side and another side we will taken for flow, and average of these two will give the flow of your concrete. So if your very lean mix is there or trimmy concrete is there, then in that case we are going for this type of salam. Okay. Then the next is the test on fresh concrete, the workability by compacting factor test. So you can see here, this is the compacting factor apparatus, which consists of uh, two hopper 1, hopper 2, and the cylinder. The dimension of top hopper, the upper diameter is 25.4 mm and bottom diameter is 12.7 centimeter, sorry, and the height of the upper hopper is 27.9 centimeter. Then the distance between the upper hopper and top hopper will be 20.3, and there is door. This is the knob for operating the door. When we open the door, the concrete will free fall to the second hopper. Then the second upper diameter will be 22.9 centimeter, height is also 22.9 centimeter, and the diameter of bottom of hopper is again 12.7 centimeter. Then again the difference between the cylinder and the second hopper will be 20.3 centimeter, and the diameter of the cylinder is 15.2 centimeter internal diameter, and internal height of the cylinder is 30.5. So how you are performing this test? For very low workability of concrete, we are performing the compaction factor test. First we will prepare the concrete and we will fill the upper hopper with the concrete. Okay, and then we open the knob and free fall of the concrete to the second hopper. Then again we will open the second knob and then free fall of the concrete to the cylinder. Then this cylinder concrete over cylinder will be strike out, and the weight is taken, and that is the partially filled weight of concrete is taken. Then the cylinder is compacted with the filled again empty, and then fill with the concrete in 3 layer for 25 blows, and then weight of fully compacted cylinder is also taken. Okay, this procedure is explained. And then what is the compacting factor? Weight of partially compacted concrete to the weight of fully compacted concrete gives us the compaction factor. Okay, so if there is very low workability, then we will go for the compaction factor phase. You can see the video also on YouTube. How the compaction factor this compaction factor test for concrete. तो ये लैबोरेटरी में टेस्ट करते हैं या कभी कभी हम साइट पर भी टेस्ट करते हैं. If low workability is there, then we are using such apparatus. Bottom internal diameter is 12.7 and the height is 27.9 centimeter. This is the dimension of upper hopper. Then the dimensions of the second hopper. Internal height is 22.9 centimeter. Then the dimensions of your cylinder at the bottom, and the distance between the lower hopper and upper hopper and cylinder and second hopper. The concrete is poured into the upper hopper. Then open is a trap door to pre-fall the concrete from first to second hopper. Then trap door of the second hopper is also open and the concrete is free fall to the cylinder. Then excess concrete will be levered and removed by the trowel. Outside of cylinder is wiped with the cloth and then partially filled, partially compacted weight is taken. So this is the weight of partially compacted concrete, and we can note down. Then we have to clean the entire cylinder. Now again we have to fill the cylinder with 3 layers. Then we have to compact it for 25 blows. After compaction, top surface is leveled off and again the weight of concrete is taken. Then again we have to weigh the cylinder and we find out the weight of fully compacted concrete. Partially compacted concrete to the weight of fully compacted. This is the compaction factor. There is weight of this is the degree of workability. Degree of workability can be calculated while knowing the compaction value. Small apparatus and large apparatus, it is given. If very low degree of workability, the compaction factor will be 0.78. If low, then 0.85. If medium degree of workability, then 0.92. And if high degree of workability is there, then the compaction factor value will be 0.95. तो as the mix will length, the compaction will factor will be higher side. If the harsh concrete is there, then the degree of workability is very low, and the compaction factor will be value will be on lower side. Okay, so this how we can perform the compaction factor test. You have seen from the video also, and easily understand. Then test procedure also you have seen through the value, and this is the compaction factor value uh, as per the degree of workability as per the IS. This is the very low, if 0.7 to zero point 0.8 compaction factor value, and if the degree of workability is lower than 0.85 to 0.87 will be the compaction factor value. And for it is used for the roads and vibrated by hand operated machines. If a medium degree of workability is there, then compaction factor value is 0.92 to 0.35. Manually compacted flat slab using crust aggregate, normal reinforcement concrete, heavy reinforcement section with vibration if you are using. If degree of workability is very high, then compaction factor will be 0.95 to zero point 0.9. And for section with the congested reinforcement, we are going for this compaction factor value and high degree of workability, and or for pumping and trimming concrete also we are going for this. Then we will see the flow test. If very lean concrete are there, flow test are having different types. This is the flow table test, and this was the used for the flow table test. If harsh skid is there, then jolting is required. Otherwise, when you lift the cone and the the cone use as the same cone we are using for the slum, you can see the video and you will understand how the flow table test is carried out. This for very level surface is required to do the test. Place the flow, flow table on the floor, on the level floor, and then on the marking is there to put the slump. Before that, you have to clean the surface and all the moistures and should be removed from the equipments. This has, you have to hold the slump and then you have to fill the concrete into the slump. दो लेयर में हम लोग को कंक्रीट भरना है. We will fill the layer and compact it in two layer. Then excess concrete will be strike out. You have to remove the excess concrete and clean the flow table apparatus so that it will not hamper and will get the good result. And after removing You have to lift the salam cone so that the flow will be take place. This is now we'll provide the jolting after every 5 second and 15 jolting will be provided so that the flow will be occur. So total of 15 drops we are doing so that the total flow will be occur, and then we are measuring with the scale two dimension or on the perpendicular direction, and we have to record the two measurement, and the average of the two measurement will go give us the flow of your concrete. This is as per the BA URE code 12350 part 5 flow table test. Okay, these are the dimension of your flow table test. You can take the screenshot and make the diagram on your concrete technology notebook so that you can uh, follow later on. Then another apparatus for the flow table test is like this. The upper table is in the round portion, and then the salam cone, and handle is this handle is used for the jolting. So this is the plate where we can put the concrete, and this is the core in between, and then we will provide the jolting through this knob. It will up and down like a jolting, and this apparatus available in our laboratory also. You can physically go and see the that apparatus. Okay, so this is the flow table apparatus. We can see this video also how to perform this test in laboratory. To know the fluidity of concrete, we are using this flow table test. Upper surface diameter. This is the cone of 12.9 centimeter height. फ्लो टेबल साफ करेंगे और उसके ऊपर फिर हम लोग पहले वी विल पुट आवर स्लम and we will fill the concrete into layer, and each layer is rodded by the tamping rod by 25 times. We'll level off, strike out the excess material, and we will start the test. We will remove the mold, and the concrete is free falling. Then we have to give the 15 jolting, and then we have to measure the diameter of it. We will record the dimension like this in 6 direction, and the average of this each dimension is taken out. The spread diameter, as you find out 6 direction, the average is taken in centimeter, then minus the base diameter of your cone divided by the base diameter of cone into 100. The flow in percentage will be recorded. This is the another uh, type of flow table test to know the fluidity of your concrete. So this one is the flow table test of your concrete. We will review whatever today we have done, and then in next class, in lecture number 16, we will see the VB consistometer test, that is also called as remolding test, and whatever covered you will, once again I will repeat to you, and we will finish into this lecture. So today we have completed the the bleeding and lightens on the concrete and test on fresh concrete. 3 tests we have seen today. That is first one, the slum cone test, and this is the conical cylinder, and we are filling it by 3 layer, and then we strike out the excess of concrete, and slum is recorded in mm, and this is the dimensions of the your slum cone, and after the slum you can measure the slum. It may be true shear or collapse based on the degree of workability, and based on the value, and based on the type of your concrete. Then we have seen the type of concrete and their slump values: medium, harsh concrete, and highly workable concrete you have seen. Then the different slump values is stated by the IS code as per the placing condition and degree of workability. If low degree of workability, the slump value will be 25 to 75 mm. If medium degree of workability, the slump value will be 50 to 100 mm. And for medium and pump concrete, medium degree of workability, we need the slump value of 75 to 100 mm. And if you are placing in situ piling or trench filling, because the surface on narrow section, high workability is degree of workability is required, and uh, the slump value will be 100 to 150 mm. If very high degree of workability for tricky concrete, flowy concrete, so we cannot measure the slump. The flow test is carried out as per IS 9103/1999. The second test on the workability, you have seen the compacting factor test, and this is the apparatus consists of 3 offers, and the dimension of 3 offers are given, and you can uh, put the concrete over the top offer, and then trap is removed for the first offer, the concrete will free for the second offer, then again trap is removed for second offer, as the concrete will free fall to the bottom cylinder, and then strike out the excessive material, clean and wipe out the excessive material over the cylinder outer side, and then we measure the partially compacted concrete weight. Then another, we have to fill the concrete with clear, and the fully compaction is done, and then fully compacted weight of your concrete is measured. The difference between the weight of partially compacted concrete to weight of fully compacted concrete will give us the compaction factor. And based on degree of workability, very low, the compaction factor values are given here, 0.78 to 0.8 if degree of workability is very low. If degree of workability is low, then 0.85 to 0.87, and if degree of workability is medium, then 0.92 to 0.935. This value may be different author, they are given the different values, but it is given by your IS code, and the higher degree of workability is there, then the compaction factor value will be 0.95 to zero point 0.9. And then we have seen how to perform the flow table test by this apparatus as per the Euro code, and then from this apparatus flow table test is done, and average value of the flow is measured. So these three tests on the workability we have seen today, and inshallah from tomorrow we will see the another balance test on the workability of concrete in the coming lecture, whenever it may be. I request all of the students you will join on the time, and also request your friends to join the lecture, online lecture. Now you have to see the lecture at your home, and that will be yani easily you can. Okay, thank you joining today, and we will stop here, and you can able to join the second lecture, whatever it may be. Thank you for joining. Thank you.